Nextly, I am working on door locks. I just ordered some new door locks. See how this door lock looks? This is what you get. Look at the difference between this one and this one. Do you notice the difference between the two? Well, that's because this is a new one also. That's because I took off the ring off of an original. I took this off, polished it up, and set it in place. Notch there for the key. That small little detail, well, they don't put that into the new lock. It seems like all of these new parts, they change the way it looks. It's probably because it's cheaper to get it close than it is to get it exact. Maybe that's it. But anyway, so I'm going to show you how I did that. So first thing, find yourself an old lock that you're not using and carefully take off this cap. What I've been doing is taking a knife that I don't really care about, getting in there like this and applying some pressure to bend those tabs up just a little bit. Then I got myself a bent screwdriver tool. Do that. So what I've been doing is get under there and carefully, without bending it all out of whack, pry that up and then go on to the next one. And then go on to the next one. All right, there's your wet. Pulled out. Now, if you're restoring your lock, those are all the parts that are inside the lock. I was going to attempt to rekey this, and I don't have the patience to figure out to get those to match up to my key. Plus, I probably would have to buy a kit with new pins, and you know what? I'm not gonna take the time to do that. I probably should. That way I have the original, everything original. But I'm gonna keep these. Maybe one day I can fix these up, so I'm going to keep these. But if you're going to restore your lock, see how dirty and grimy it is? You can take all this stuff out of there. Springs underneath where this here goes, like that. You can see it right there. See that spring right there? This little piece will pull out like that. And then you can take off that little door that's attached with another spring inside here to make it flip. Goes in there. And you can take all this apart. And you can file the scratches out or sand the scratches out and buff these to a shine, buff this to a shine, and then put it back together. Buff this to a shine and put it back together. Get all the crud out from underneath it. Get everything clean, and then you'd have a nice working lock again. Best thing probably to do would be to replace these little pins. Maybe down the road I might do that. But with this set, we're just going to show you how to take this little piece and put it onto a new lock to make it look like it's an original. We just want this piece right here. That's the piece we want. And then we'll get this little piece polished up. Now we can get this piece all nice and shiny. Well, you polish this like anything else that you're polishing. Just start with some, I'm gonna do on down the line, 600 all the way up to 3,000. Just a little bit of each, hot soapy water, and that's all there is to it. There we go. Yeah, it's looking really nice already. This stuff works really well. A little bit of that. This really brings out the shine. Well, it's definitely shiny here. Now we can take this off. It's a little easier than the original because these are so put on so cheap. They're half loose already. There we go. Now there's springs under here, so don't lose them. We're gonna polish that little thing too a little bit. There's the two springs. We're gonna take those springs out so we don't lose them. Let's put them over here. Okay. Now, this is how they made those cheap. They made it all one piece. So, I'm just gonna take some flits and rub that down and shine that up a little bit. Now, it's again, can you notice the difference between the original and the repop? They just don't put enough detail in it. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. If you ask me, it's dumb. But this is the one we want. Now, also, probably should have done this before I polished, but there we go. Now, the one thing I noticed on this, when they made this, they've got this a little bit thicker than the original, so that this doesn't have enough room to push these over to catch. So what I need to do is I need to file this down or sandpaper it down so it'll work. Imagine that. So we need to keep doing this. We need to keep doing this until the edge of this is flush with the bottom of this. So I got like a 30-second more to go here. Okay. There we are. I got that flush with that, so there's just enough room for me to bend this tab over to catch. And then I'll have the original cap on this new lock. Sweet. Doesn't spin, so that's a plus. I think we're gonna leave it right there. Maybe just ever so slightly make sure that this is round. It's tight, and then I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it right there. I have to say that looks nice. Let me go get the other one. Yes, so these look great. That works. And that works. There they are. They look beautiful. There they are. I hope you liked watching this episode, just to make your locks a little bit more original. That's all you can do. Now maybe there's a maker that makes these that are identical to the original. I do not know. It kind of would be nice to know, because I was hoping I could have them exactly like original, but at least now they're close. Much better than not doing this at all. I can go with that. Okay. Thank you for watching. See you next time.